Rob me crazy. Hey, I think we're live. Hey, it's Friday night, and welcome to the Fan Caste, episode something. What episode are we on?
78.
I can't.
I don't remember.
I forgot to look.
I can't count.
You know,
77.
77. No, it was 77 last week. 78.
Okay.
The title.
100 million.
100 million. Episode 77. We're feeling monetized in. We might need a channel later because I'm drunk. Or maybe not. I don't know. So
Someday.
with me on the line, counting his bullets. Tap it.
Yep, I'm counting the bullets right now. I'm up to 100.
All right. Also, from Wilderness of the Great Northeast.
Hello.
Rowdy Frank, that was
Hello.
your cue for this summer.
Well, I didn't hear you say my name. Every time you fucking do that, you fade off to nothing, so no one can hear what you're saying.
Oh,
Bonk.
Yep.
I'm very, very sorry, Reality Frank. That's fine.
Anyway, Rose Tico always makes me feel like a young boy. Every time I look at her, my balls shrivel up into my belly.
Rob Schneider.
And we have joining us tonight, special guest and fan, Scott Smith.
What did you?
I don't know what the hell I'm calling him.
Scott Smith.
Scott Smith.
Whoa.
He's going to
I
hang
got a
up.
whole
The
new
Appalachian
name.
American. I'll call him by his handle name.
There he goes again.
There
There he goes again, mispronouncing names.
Can anybody hear him?
I hear him.
Yeah, I hear him. Yeah.
Oh,
Grandpa's mixing his meds with alcohol again.
I don't hear
Yep.
him. I don't hear him.
Oh hell, we got more technical difficulties.
Again? Just
Apparently, I hear him. You're the only one that can't hear him.
I'm going to restart.
And there went the channel dead. So
God damn it.
another.
God damn it, North Korea. Yeah.
It ain't the North Koreans, man. They don't care enough about us. It's probably those deceitful Spaniards. What was his name? Saramanga?
All right, I saw green for him.
Okay.
All right, sound off.
Sound off, Seth.
What up?
All right, woohoo! Frank, you still there?
I'm still here.
He's still here.
You've got to be. What the heck is going on?
Jesus.
This is
fucking
insane.
What the hell? Every goddamn week
Can
this
I
shit
hear
happens.
Frank now?
Now you can't hear Frank.
It's the man keeping us down. I tell you what it is. We're gonna have to figure out something
Well,
else.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Again, it's
Maybe
always
we
on your end.
We probably need to just go back to Skype then.
You know what the problem is because Lape's on a
This is
fucking
crazy. I don't.
He's on a Mac.
I know, but
That's
I
the
don't
problem.
know. That's my problem. Yeah.
Yep.
You want to get started with that? Hold on a second. I
Let's
also
see.
have all the dogs down here with me. I've told my wife numerous times, please come fetch them. The puppy's tearing up something. I can't tell what because I can't tell where he is.
She's probably like, do it your damn self.
I got the 1-year-old dog at my feet doing something else. Yeah. Oh,
Anyway,
But
while Lape is working out his alcohol
Shit.
issues,
mhm.
congratulations, Scott, for your new tax deduction.
Yep, you are a father now.
Yay.
keep talking. I got my cord is my.
We were talking.
I know. but
Anyway,
my headset cord is all tangled in one of the dogs. So keep talking.
Anyway, okay. So Seth, how's it feel to be a father? Tell us.
It's fun. A lot of poopy diapers.
Mhm.
One great big blowout diaper this morning. Whew.
Get used to that.
It was rough.
I should send you feminist, baby.
Right? It's just like show it to and just like, you see this? And tear it up and then throw it in the fire. Say that's what you do when you see feminist shit. You tear it up and throw it away.
Naughty. It's naughty, naughty. You
Naughty.
never do that.
And then be sure to show her all the good movies like Predator and Commando and Die Hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. All right. You hear me now, Lape?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
I hear you,
I
late
hear
sound.
you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I bet I can't hear Seth now.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yay!
I can't hear you
Woo!
guys.
Yeah,
Everybody tell me
hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Now?
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Wait, I
Wait.
can't hear y'all.
Yeah.
You can't hear us?
So,
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Oh God.
I can hear everybody. I think I don't.
Yeah.
good. Let's finally get on the show.
Dang.
It's only been fucking 12. It's only been 8 minutes.
All
And
right.
we've already fucked it up. So let's talk about what celebration then?
All right. Celebration 2019 was in the great city of Chicago. We had the between myself and the four dudes of world-class bullshitters, we came to one grand and glorious conclusion about Chicago and the unbelievably great state of Illinois. They can go all fuck themselves, and that includes Joel. I forgot him too. So there was
You forgot Joel. How dare you?
So I'm going to say the F-bomb. There's my one for the night. Yeah, between the horrible traffic, the tolls, the unfriendly people, and the lack of parking, the facility was great. Okay, it was a large facility. Things were spread out. You never felt like it was a huge. I mean, it was a lot of people that were there. I don't know what the counts were, but it felt small. Sometimes, but trying to park, dealing with the unbelievably ungrateful masses. And the frickin' toll roads that apparently, I don't know where the money goes, but it sure as crap does not go to fix the roads.
Shit.
Their roads are dog crap. We were all glad to leave Illinois. Shit,
I bet. I mean, it seems like, yeah, but at least I had fun, right?
We did have fun. We had a good time. If anybody listened to the show last night, I know Jeff talked about it a little bit. I was listening for a while. I didn't get to listen to everything. So basically, let me give you the short version. And yeah, we're not really monetized, David. We're just no one wanted to do the feeling cute meme.
Wait, what did you change the name? Oh, the monetized. Oh yeah, that's right. You changed it to the name I suggested.
Feeling monetized might delete, because I had feeling cute might delete the channel later.
Yeah, I figured that was the joke. Since you were monetized now, basically, are you? Yeah.
Well, I'm eligible now.
You're eligible.
So I get put in the hopper. Am I over 1,200 subscribers now? It just
I think you're at 11.
Yeah, I think I was over. No, I'm over. No, 1124. So I'm slowly gaining to 12. Okay. I won't. I really wanted over 2,000, and mainly because I was over 1,000 before, and then YouTube took away several hundred subscribers. Well, not YouTube. Well, yes, YouTube after Google bought them, but that's water under the bridge. Yeah, I want to be. When I finally get monetized again, I'm going to have a monetized for the third time party.
Yeah,
and that's not an exaggeration. So, Nick drove to here, and picked up Jeff, and then they pick up Jeff or they pick up me? No, I don't remember.
Whichever.
No. Since Joel came in, he was staying with his mom. So Nick picked up Jeff, went to where Joel was, and then I had my wife drive me over there. Mm-hmm. Since that was actually that way, they didn't have to backtrack because that was kind of on the way for me. Because he was west of me. So that's where we went. Packed all in Nick's Highlander. And
there could only be one.
All right. And so I drove at that point and drove all the way we stayed in Schaumburg. So I think that I believe the miles was like 26 miles from the convention center, but it took a minimum of an hour because of traffic. And because of toll roads. Even at late at night, it took a long time. So we drove up there on Wednesday, and the dogs are going nuts. And I think 1 o'clock on Thursday is when it opened, and I was surprised. We got through security very well, and once they opened the doors, we got in pretty quickly. So, who has watched the trailer that I made?
I saw it. It was pretty badass.
I tried to watch it.
You what?
I tried to watch it. I just didn't have time to sit down and actually watch anything. I've been meaning to go back and watch it.
It's only a couple minutes long.
I know, but I'm busy.
All right, that was
to come out.
Right, both come out. Yeah, that was from several days. That was little clips here and there from several days. A lot of stuff I did was handheld, and it's okay, but it needs a lot of processing for stabilization. But which wasn't bad. So I did a lot of videos. So I didn't go to any panels. Did a lot of videos, some images. Yes. I've been telling your mother that the dogs need to not be down here, and now they're tearing up more stuff.
It should be like, I'm trying to talk with my friends.
Yeah. Well, Caroline back and going to get on her Twitch streaming again. She was streaming some game before. They're all playing with the puppy. So anyway, okay.
Back to video.
My input volume keeps dropping, so I'll be quiet now. And so eventually we hooked up the stuff in the trailer with Jeremy and Jeff talking to one another as well as fans. That's all from the first day. And Jeremy brought this up on the High Council on Tuesday, if you listened. Or did they have a High Council Tuesday? I thought they did. Yeah, and this guy, I forget his name, but he has the same hat as Jeremy. It was hilarious. And I have a little video of that. So
the one where you thought the guy was gonna put a gun on him or something.
Yeah, man.
Dude, stop swallowing the microphone.
Yeah, step back.
It was an accident. It was an accident. Shit.
So but Thursday night, where were we Thursday night? Thursday. Yeah, so Thursday we were there for a few hours. We got hungry. We went to somebody's. It was supposed to be the rooftop, but that wasn't open. It was cold. We were in the music. I don't remember the name of it now, like Reggie's or something. And they had like half price cheeseburgers and I want to say half price Moscow mules or something like that.
What?
And we had met up with Anna and that Star Wars girl and Jessi Milestone of Mindless Entertainment. And basically, I think Jeff bought a round, and then I don't know if Anna bought a round. I think Jessi bought. I don't even know. And then no, and I take it back. Anna was not with us yet. And then we had very good cheeseburgers, very good burgers of various types. Hold on a second.
Hold on.
I got even more dog nonsense. Come here. Go away. And anyway, so we walked. I don't know how we found this other bar, but we went to it. Now, granted, we're all dressed. We got jeans and we have shirts. It's not like we're in shorts and t-shirts. It looks like we just came from the gym or something. And we go through the revolving door. The wait staff was great. They were very friendly, but the people in it looked at us like, what the flip are you people doing here? I mean, it was like, oh my God, but you look at what came in the door. Somebody please show them out. There were kids' birthday parties going on, and we took up like 5 tables, and Anna eventually joined us there, and we had some snacks, we had more drink, and they had their own stuff. I have no clue what time we left there. And then because Jessi was she was punching they got along very well. She was trying to choke Jeff at one point. It was hilarious. Like it. Yeah. And if you've seen some of there's I don't know if there's a picture. I know I have some video of her hand, and Jeff putting his hand around her. It was hilarious. And that was, and I think Jeff talked about this on the High Council, because then they decided that, because at this point Nick was driving, he had to keep moving the car, he and Kendo, and so I was drinking quite a bit, and they decided to go do karaoke. Right. So we walked like, I don't even know how far, and we end up over in Chinatown, and then again we go down, it's a downstairs, and they look at us like, why are these non-Asians, we'll say, because Dion was not with us yet, but we did have Jeff with us. And they wanted $25 per person just to come in the door. And there was this was like 11:30. There was nobody there. There was like 5 people there. So right. So that's what we said. So, and we were hungry, and so we decided to go to we went to a Chinese place across, Chinatown, obviously. Pretty good Chinese food. This dive really of a place across the street. Then I don't know what time we left there. I think like midnight or something. And then we drove. So Anna and Jessi decided to come back with us. So I don't know where Anna sat, but Jessi and I sat in the very back, because Nick's Highlander, there's a roll down seat in the very back where you can sort of get a person. So Jessi and I are back there, and she's like almost passed out by the time we get back to the hotel. And now they had stayed in that hotel the original night. So this is where the miscommunication started with Jeremy, because he said the first night we met him, and that's that live stream they did. In full disclosure, he called Jeff. They set up that whole thing, and then he went live, and then he was walking around the hotel, and then Jeff opened the door and all that stuff. And we were trying very hard not to laugh behind the door because we were all there. So we go there, and that's Thursday night. They do a live stream at whatever freaking time. I'm just about ready to pass out. And so I'm in and out. I know I'm on the live stream for a while. I kind of leaning against the wall. Although what starts to happen is the alcohol wears off, but I'm getting really, really tired. So they do their thing. I'm kind of in and out of their rooms. And then, because we have 3 rooms consecutive. And then about, what time was that? 2:00 in the morning. Nick says, hey, you got to drive them back to their hotel, because Nick's been drinking really heavy. I haven't had anything since probably 11, whatever time we left that second bar. And so I was fairly sober on that. I was just very tired. So I grab a Monster because I'm thinking, yeah, this will, and even Joel said, are you sure that's going to not keep you up? Well, Jeremy told us they were 15 minutes closer to the venue. So we thought they were just 15 minutes down the road. No, they are south of Chicago by Midway Airport. So it is 15 minutes closer, but it's an hour plus drive. And then I get most of the way to their hotel, realize we're almost out of fuel. And so I drop them off 3:00 in the morning. I'm somewhere in the south side of Chicago getting gas. I don't even know where the heck I am, because I'm just right. And I found
this is turning into adventures in babysitting.
It is. And
luckily you didn't get shot for being white.
Right. Well,
right.
So I'm somewhere near Midway, because I just basically said gas stations near me, and I went past 2 other gas stations that were closed. So at least the app knew, hey, this place was open. It was less than a mile. It was a BP. I pump in $30, and it is like $2.85 a gallon or something insane. Now if you're in California, that might sound cheap, but around here in the Midwest, that's crazy talk. It gives me a half a tank of gas, and so now I've already had I'm driving by myself. The Monster rehab is well gone. And I get in at like 4:00 in the morning, and my brain will not turn off. My body is quiet and wants to sleep, but my brain is just going absolutely nuts. Somewhere around 6 a.m. I fall asleep, and then we were up like 8:30, and I think we were out the door by 10, something like that. So the next night, the meetup, and I know that was too long a story, but the meetup, because what happened is Jeremy said Thursday, Ethan's not coming, and he was beyond irritated. Okay. And
wait, Jeff was irritated?
No, Jeff was disappointed. Jeremy was just livid. Okay.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
And rightly so, because the whole setup was those 3. I mean, everybody else, Ivan Ortega had to cancel for some reason. I forget why. The Nerdist, if my understand, his wife was ill and his son got sick, and so he had to stay and take care of both of them. I get it. And I don't remember if I ever heard a reason why Ethan said he wasn't going to come. Well, enough people badgered him that he did show up late Friday afternoon. He basically went straight from the airport to where we were, which was a bit north of Chicago, not too far. But the meet and greet was awesome. I mean, we were packed into this small bar. I have no clue how many people were there. I know that the bar was well patronized, so we kept everybody hopping. We didn't have enough room to do a standing like a tripod camera. We just did some handheld stuff. I know they live streamed it. It was just absolutely incredible. It was great. After that, we went out for pizza. We go to this pizza place. So I'm driving Nick's car. I have Jessi and Anna, I think. No, I didn't. I don't remember who I had. I had some bunch of people. We show up, and the lady kept repeating, we close at 1:00. We close at 1:00. I said, okay, we close. I said, fine. I want a cheeseburger, because I didn't want any more pizza at this point. And they all show up like 10 or 15 minutes later. Everybody orders something. I think we left about 1:15, but we closed this place down. But everybody left a big tip. It was good. And so I had So Dion shows up straight to the bar too. So Dion took Jeff and Anna and I think Ethan, I don't know, but they went one way. We went, whoever was in my vehicle, I don't remember. I think Joel and Kendo, they all fell asleep on the way back. Jeff went with Dion and they went somewhere and it was the opposite. So like by 2:00 in the morning, we were in bed and then they got in at like 4. So, and I think it was,
they went to a donkey show.
Right.
Interspecies erotic.
Well, and see, I think that was the night the fire alarm went off. But I'm not sure now. See, now I'm not sure because no, that was Saturday night. Friday night was the meetup. Saturday night was when the fire alarm went off. And that was, well, technically Sunday morning because that was like 1:30. And Dion was in the bar next door. No one knew Dion was even gone. Joel and I are outside and Dion comes up, "Hey, Goods, what's going on?" I'm like, "Where the heck are you?" But because we were pretty drained by then, but it was one of these things where it's like the alarm's going off. It took me a while to figure that out. And I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. It's too cold outside and put clothes on. And it turns out there was a faulty sensor on the 5th floor. And so the sprinklers went off or something, so there was a crew Tuesday trying to clean up the mess. So that was nice. But, and then Sunday we had snow and Joel and I went to the mall for like 2.5 hours because we just had to get out of the hotel. And while we did that, apparently they must have done some kind of streaming or did something. And it was a good 4 inches minimum and the roads were well covered. And considering it took an hour to drive without anything in the way, we're like, now I will say the roads were fun to drive around. Okay. The mall. And I was kind of upset that Nick's car didn't have a handbrake so I could really slide it around. But it was not one where we wanted to drive downtown. So we called it a
Hey, Kendo.
Oh, Kendo's here.
Yep. The slice is in the chat.
All right.
Cool.
But yeah, it was a good time. But it was well, coming back on, I forget what night that was pretty late. Kendo and I was driving, so it was a good thing I didn't fall asleep. Kendo was in the back, and I know he wasn't asleep because he kept changing the music. He was on the auxiliary port and the Bluetooth, and Jeff was gone. That was the night we were drinking all the way. That must have been Monday night when we went down to Anna and we met Andy from the UK, so. And we did some filming down there till like 2 a.m. and nearly got kicked out of the hotel because of noise. And I had this thing called Rain energy drink, and it was really starting to really screw with me. And my anxiety went like through the roof. I had to like go out in the hall. Plus it was hot, but then I would go out in the outside even a few times because I was like anxious, like I had never felt in my life.
Shit.
And so basically sometime I eventually said, look, I'm just about out of energy and I have to drive home. So you guys can either crash here or, I'm leaving. In like 5 seconds after I say that, the phone rings and they're like, we have multiple reports and of noise. And so we shut it all down. Nick and I took the cameras and crap out to the car. We switched rooms, which was on a different floor. We went to Andy's room and, we rode up with security and they were headed to the floor we had just been on and we were going to a different one. So we were like, oh goody. And we did a few more things and then pretty much shut down the night. But everybody else, Jeff was pretty much gone. Joel went in and out and then Kendo kept changing the music. So I know he wasn't asleep, but that was good. Anyway, that was Dustin had all the coke, but that was a really interesting time. Jeremy's a bit more high strung than I thought he was. He's out there, man. And he does that. For him to be at that bar on a Friday night was really, really nerve wracking. So I don't know what he doesn't like drinking at all.
Yeah, he said that a few times.
And people were trying to get. And look, to me, it's uncool. If someone says, "Hey, I don't want to drink," great. That's it. That's the end of discussion. No, try to fool him. That is uncool. And people were trying to spike his drinks and other nonsense. That is beyond uncool. And people apparently have done that in the past. Not cool at all. But he didn't want to be, because I thought when we went to kind of group that there would be some discussion and stuff, and he was just going to join in the fun, but he decided to head back to Florida. So he is a bit nuts. So he drove, I don't know how many hours straight, but from Chicago to Pensacola, it's like 16 hours. And he left at like 7:30 at night, Sunday night. So, but anyway, it was a good time. Some people at work were asking me today how the I compared to say Matsuricon, which is a lot smaller. I didn't go to any panels, but I wasn't really interested. The floor was great, and just as you would expect from the toy sales and everything else, the vast majority of the cosplay was original series. There was some prequels, a lot of Amidala's and in her various robes. And but the best cosplay was a George Lucas, a thin George Lucas, as Slave Leia, with
Slave Girl George
as Slave Leia with the boots and everything.
That was all over the internet.
Yes, and so if you saw that with the Darth Mickey holding the chain, that was, in my opinion, the best. It wasn't the best. It was good costuming. There were other better costumes, but something that really exemplified the current state. I know George Lucas doesn't have anything to do with it, but it feels that way, that Disney backhandedly through back doors got him to sell. So anyway, did I cover Celebration enough, or do you want to know more?
I got one question.
All right.
What was it like to meet the second oldest person in the world, Joe?
Joel. Yeah, Joel's like, hey, I'm finally not the oldest guy. And when I met Ethan on Friday night, he was afraid he was going to be the oldest person there. And so I was talking to him. I said, look, you're 6 years younger. I was trying, and it was a noisy, and I'm trying to tell him. Jessi comes running up, gets right in between us. It's pointing at me, but looking at Ethan and saying, he's 50. Can you believe he's 50 years old? And she was quite drunk. And he's like, well, you look pretty good for 50. And I was like, thanks. I think, it was very, very strange.
Kendo's like, talk about the car ride from hell.
Yep.
So, that was Saturday night. So, all right. So the dog's in the tape. So, because Ethan came in Friday evening and he stayed till Saturday evening, then he flew home. So we were trying to figure out, we had collected together. We wanted to go eat somewhere, different things. And we finally ended up at the same Chinese restaurant that we were at Thursday night. And so Jeremy was not with us. And we had the six of us. Nope. Who did we not have? Because there's six of us, but there weren't. Oh, Joel wasn't there because he didn't have a ticket for Saturday. So, so it was the five of us, and then Anna, Jessi, Ethan, and then Andy from the UK. And I keep saying that because that's the way that Jessi and Anna, when they're very drunk, Renee did his Twitter that way. But Andy, it's either Goss or Gross or something like that. But anyway, we have all this. And the thing is none of us are really drinking yet much. And they took an Uber over, and then Nick dropped us all off and found a place to park. So they being the four of them, and then we had the five of us. And so we're like, oh, somebody said, well, let's all try to pile it in Goss. And they try to pile into the car. And Nick was of the impression that we're going to try this. We're going to see it's not going to work. And they're just going to take an Uber and we're just going to call it a night. In the meantime, he's looking to see, and it's like a couple of turns and it's pretty much a straight shot to their hotel, or at least the hotel we want to drop everybody else on. Because Anna and Jessi and Andy are staying, south of the city. And, but basically the hotel associated with the thing. So, Kendo, we had previously stopped at a McDonald's for Anna to get some, and Nick had to stop with her at the window in the back where Dion was, so she could order her stuff correctly. So so the first time when Anna gets into the car the first time, she's like, how in the world did anybody else fit back here? Now Anna's like 5'3" and maybe 90 pounds. So no, she's 110. She makes a big deal about being 110 pounds. So I was like, look, Jessi and I sat back there the first night. She said, I can't believe it. So Kendo and Anna and Jessi are crammed into the back. The middle row is, as you can see in Jeff's video, for those who saw it, is myself. The dog's barking crazy. In the middle, Dion and Ethan, and we just told Andy, just jump across all of us. Well, he just kind of, bent over like the hunchback. And so we get in there, and it's, you can feel the cars pretty much dragging. so it's just hilarious. I mean, and then when they went live and they're like, oh, so we're in the car, and he's like, they can tell you're in the car. You don't have to tell them you're in the car. And that was just great. So a lot of that exchange is Dion and Anna and Jessi. And then sometimes, Ethan said, in a Subaru, and it's like, no, and Nick says, no, it's a Toyota. And, I'm sorry, Nick, we don't. I laughed so hard. It was so cathartic in many ways. I got this deep breathing going. And when we finally piled out of the car, I mean, the look on we pull up and Ethan's like, let's valet it. And the guy opens Ethan's door, and he's got this it's like, oh my goodness, there's more people and more people and more people. He's like, this is a clown car. And so once I calmed down from that, I was like, oh, it was so cathartic. I was like, oh, I felt so great after that. But it was the craziest 7 minutes I think I've ever spent with nine people. And you got to remember, Anna is probably the smallest person in there, and they just get bigger from there. You got myself tall, you have Jeff, you got Nick, you got Dion, Kendo, and people. Ethan's not as big as you guys keep trying to pretend he is, but he's no toothpick either. But it was great.
Well, at least he made it, though. Did you see that video he did while he was in the airport? Like, just going up to random people, talk about Star Wars and all that?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And he's just like, they're like, okay, whatever. Like, he's talking to his, I guess, Uber driver. And the Uber driver's like, okay, what? Like, just let me get this guy over here and I can get rid of him.
Right.
And then he talks to some woman, and she's like, I forgot what she said, but I think she was more towards the new Star Wars movies, but it was hilarious. He's just trying to tell everybody about what's going on.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Yeah, you should watch it whenever you get a chance.
And Jeff wants Nick wants to get her. I don't know if he's contacting everybody, because I know Jeff made his video private. I'm not sure why. But Nick wants everybody to send him the video, and he's going to try and put it together as a montage.
Cool.
But it was crazy.
Have a montage.
Well, I mean, like, go line them all up and then kind of go between the two all the angles. It was crazy. And I saw some of the comments people were making. I forget who it was, said, Lape crushing EVS is going to haunt my nightmares.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I wasn't leaning on him as hard as it looks. It's just we were just crammed in there.
Yep.
And Dion got the worst of it with Andy right in his face. But Andy, I tell you what, if you look at Proper Jeremy's videos, you look at Geeks and
Proper
Gamers,
Jenny.
Jenny, yeah, he did change his name.
Andy
shows up in everybody's freaking videos, man. He was like everywhere all weekend. I know he had, as a fan of all the shows, he had an absolutely incredible time. So, and on Monday night, after we ate at the steak place, you could tell nobody wanted, Jeff got it right. Yeah, he got the best of it. Yes, you did. There, Kendo. It was, no one wanted to end. And I don't know. I think we were talking in that parking garage a lot longer than half an hour. I think this was where part of this crap came from. Because Tuesday morning I woke up with a sore throat, but I wasn't. I didn't feel bad until Wednesday morning. So, but I thought it was good. I mean, you looked at even the toy sales there. I mean, Rose Tico's $5, $4, and they still don't sell. So
did EVS get any Rose Ticos, or he's got enough?
Yeah, I don't know. But he flew, so he'd have to make sure everything fit in his bag. But original series stuff, full price. Even the ones that were redone.
Yeah, I saw that Lego had, I guess, like a booth or whatever, and I remember some guy did a video showing how in the April release sets were going to actually come, like, you buy the sets and they come with actually original trilogy little minifigures. Yeah, like there's one I want to get. It's the Snow Speeder with a Rebel Trooper, but it also comes with a Lando figure. And it's like all even the blasters, like the old version, how they used to have them back then.
Oh yeah,
that I want to get. at some point. Hopefully, I get it. But and then I was looking. I was like, yeah, I bet there's people because then was it Jeff said he got something that he's been wanting, a Han Solo doll, like a 2004 version.
Yeah, and I think Dion got a walker, an AT-AT walker.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
You know, there was some of that stuff. You know, the benefit of getting the reproductions is they're only a few years old and not as expensive. But I mean, there was stuff like, you know, new in the box from '78 that was, you know, $1,400.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some, I forget which figure it was. They had one that was semi-rare. It was like $600. But the guy was telling me that the rare, whatever, I don't remember which one it was, but there's a more rare version of that thing. It's like $300,000. It's a figure from like
guys, I'll be
79.
back in 10 minutes, okay?
All right.
Sorry, my
I would not pay that much for a toy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it's what, you know, some of that stuff is whatever someone else is willing to pay for it. It's how much it's
worth. Yeah. But still, like, I'm not that person.
Right.
It ain't gonna be me. I think the most I ever paid for a toy was $500, and that's gonna be a long time before I ever do that again.
What was it?
It was like a special custom Lego set where the Lego set was a Vietnam War era F-100 Super Saber fighter jet.
Nice.
And damn, if it looks good. And I'm looking at it right now, and I was like, okay, it was worth it. But I'm like, I go back to that site. I'm like, I'm gonna wait for it. If I ever get anything again, it's gonna be a way long time before I try to get something else again.
Yeah.
And they had like and what's crazy is too, they had the drop ship from Aliens. That thing is like $1,000. I'm like, I can make my own. I'm not gonna pay $1,000 for it. 500 is the limit. Yeah.
So Appalachian American, you got any questions about Celebration?
No, I kind of followed along with you guys. Just
I still need. I need to watch some more of the videos because I know I haven't seen everything.
Yeah, well, I tell you, the meet and greet was crowded enough that if people weren't as well behaved as they were, it could have gotten out of hand. And,
I bet, yeah, but I'm glad it went well. That's what I heard.
People, and they kind of rotated. You know, some people stayed at the front the whole time, but from what I could tell, people were kind of rotating in and out. They were trying to get autographs. You know, it wasn't like we had thousands of people, but considering where we were, everybody was from out of town. We had people from all over the world, and I thought it was a great time.
That's good. Glad everyone had a good time.
So
I really wanted to go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and there were quite a few people that came to Celebration just to be part of that meet and greet. You know, they went to Celebration, but that wasn't their main.
Yeah, the main goal.
Around. It was so funny, and I know Jeff touched on this, and so in that trailer that I make, that we're in that tent, we're in the second tent. We're about halfway. That's about halfway through that tent. And I had just done that kind of panorama looking, you know, just got a couple, just trying to get some feel for things and, you know, a little bit of footage. And excuse me. And I can't remember if it was Kendo and I or Joel and I were standing there and because Jeff's like, yeah, nobody's going to recognize us. And this guy comes up to me and I didn't know what to do. He looks at me and he points at Jeff and says, is that Jeff or World Class Bullshitters? And I was like, and I looked, because I had a little bit of a separation, so it looked like I wasn't quite standing with him. And I turned, because I think it was Joel that was standing near me. And I turned and I was like, and they were all looking at their phones, just trying to be nonchalant. And I was just like, I was about to say yes. And Jeff kind of looked up from his phone and the guy pointed at him and said, Jeff? He said, yeah, you know, kind of sheepishly said, I'm a listener to the show. And then it started. So, I mean, we weren't there 2 minutes and someone recognized Jeff. So it was great. And
maybe I should, if I ever show up in one of those things, I'll just be like, are you Jeff? And then I'm going to reach in, like I'm going to reach for something in my pocket, like all serious. Like, I've been waiting a long time for this. And then it's just like a paper or something. Here, can you sign this? Like, act like I'm going to reach for a gun just to mess around.
I know, man. Dion would probably beat you down.
He would say, Jeff! And he would tackle my ass real quick. I say, it's just a piece of paper what you sign.
Yeah.
You can sign it too, Dion.
But no, it was good. I mean, and as we're walking around the floor, people, and what's funny is even So and I noticed this like mostly the first day and some the second. When I said my name, people are like, I don't know. But if I said Channel Dad Bryon Lape, then they like, oh yeah. So it was like the name is still the same. The only difference is Channel Dad in the front of it. You know.
Right. Hey, that's the nature of the game, man. They know you by a certain name. You have to say the whole thing. It's like was it a Tribe Called Quest or whatever that was called? You have to say the whole name, or else they'll never know who you are.
Yeah.
Right, Channel Dad. We need to see if we can get the other name, Cuck Muffin, to stick. So some people are like, hey, aren't you Cuck Muffin?
You don't look like what I thought you did.
The what?
I'm reading Grim Falcon's thing. It says you don't look like what I thought you did, Channel Dad. What do you think I look like? I got a lot of videos with me on my channel.
Like you didn't look wide enough.
In real life or in the videos?
In real life.
Oh, well, maybe I don't act quite.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. I remember like when I was first listening to WCBS, like I didn't see the pictures and the guys never really mentioned what they look like. I think other than Dion when he called himself the Chocolate Sultan that one time. And I'm like, I imagine Jeff was probably some big guy. All over here is I'm real big, so I just imagine a big white guy with glasses for some reason. But then I was like, and they said, oh yeah, I'm like half black. And then I saw the videos on Facebook when they were in Florida, that one last time. I think it was 2 years ago at this point. And I said, okay, that's what they look like. And that was it. And it's funny how some people still haven't seen those videos. Like they could look and they're like, oh, that's what you look like.
Yeah. Well, the first video, sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full. Not as tall with the beard. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I have a beard voice. That's nice. Yeah, the first time, if I remember correctly, that's before they did the videos. So the first time that they all appear on video was on my channel. So I had myself. It was just Nick. Not Nick. Kendo, Phil, and Jeff. But because Nick wasn't there, and neither I don't think. Yeah, Dion didn't make it until SmackDown or something. But because that was the Christmas stuff. But yeah, I completely forgot they did that stuff on Facebook when they were at WrestleMania. But
yeah, then there's one video I think where who was it? I think it's Loudy. He's like seeing the room for the first time or whatever. I forgot who it was. Yeah, and then there's
Well, did you see there was one too that Jeff put some fruit in Everclear?
No, I didn't see that one.
And so that was Loudy and Nick and him, and they were, it's like, because I think that was after Dion may have been asleep by that point, because they also were talking about DC Comics and some other things, and was having like a that one they didn't do video, they just did audio. And
yeah, I saw that one where they're just sort of got together and started talking about stuff.
Yeah,
because it wasn't really like a planned episode.
Yeah,
I got my baby.
No,
yeah, I saw that quickly on video.
Yeah,
I thought about a lot, but yeah, it's up to you.
Little baby.
Is that your first child or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking you should still give her the nickname Liquid Metal Pro just to honor because Liquid Metal Pro was taken by ICE this past weekend.
Where is he?
Nah, his phone just sucks, and he says his laptop's broken too. But I'm sure Frank is happy. He's tired of the Liquid Metal Pro going on and saying "mind you" all the time. See, there she is. I see her.
Yeah, you got to talk some, Seth, so that you stay open. There you go.
Oh, she's a little chunker ball, butterball. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's great, man.
Yeah, don't let my grandma see her. She'll try to take away because she loves babies. She'll raise them right though. I'll give you that. I can tell you that right now though.
Yeah.
That's one thing she does right. She raises the babies right. She teaches them like early all the stuff they need to know.
Is my camera off? I can't tell if it's on or off.
It's still on.
Yeah, we're looking at your ceiling.
Is it off?
Now it's off.
Now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so any more else to say on Celebration?
I was very tired when I got home. Did record a lot of video Got some stills. In my little trailer thing, because I'm gonna do another piece. I need, basically that was me spending like 10 minutes going through all my video feed and figuring out what was what. I have some other ideas for some other videos, but I gotta dig deeper. And of course, Nick has like 5 times as much video as I do, and he has stuff that's going to be Patreon only as well. And so when he gets all that together. But the one that looks like the helmet near the end of the trailer, that's actually, I forget how many. I should have recorded the lady telling me how all of the stats about the thing, which was stupid. I didn't. But it's Lego Stormtroopers.
I saw that one.
So that, I forget, like 3,800 or something. It took some ridiculous amount of time for them to do all that, but that was pretty cool. The 501st was there in huge numbers. You
should have told them fat shamers.
So, but I mean, the cosplay, I mean, there was a guy doing Snoke, was pretty good. There was a guy doing Palpatine, which was almost creepily great. A few slave Leias, some women who had the body for it. Some were borderline, but no, and like, thank God, no gender bender slave Leias other than the Lucas.
Thank God.
And and then you would get random things, like there was, I think that's, if I remember correctly, someone a Power Ranger. There was like weird stuff, and there was some other things, but for the most part, it was all based on Star Wars. There were actually, I saw 2 Holdos who looked better than Laura Dern and had a nicer gown than what she wore in The Last Jedi, which just really freaked me out. I was like, that actually works. It's like poor Laura Dern it's like she had a dress that was designed for someone 20 pounds heavier.
Oh,
right. I mean, it's what it looked like. It was just hanging on her, like.
And then too, it was like the wrong setting. I thought she was a military commander, but here she is wearing like she's going to the prom or something,
right.
Like evening gown.
Well, and see, and I got in a discussion with somebody about that, and we were talking about The Last Jedi and how, like, a couple lines of dialogue. Okay, like when they, they could have easily said, we just escaped Coruscant in time or something like that, or she was, someone could have said, Vice Admiral Holdo's, apparently we got word she and her, staff escaped from Coruscant in the whatever meeting, or, some occasion that would seem to be, kind of highfalutin, but you wouldn't be in uniform kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of like, I didn't get to take much. It was such a hurt. We went in such a hurry. I didn't get to grab much or something like that.
Right. Or they were leaving and, something, just a couple lines that would have set the scene to why she's in a prom dress, essentially, or a formal gown.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have made sense, that they were running. And it's just so much stuff like that in The Last Jedi missing, just a basic setup of what in the heck's going on. But I guess then it wouldn't subvert our expectations if they had a line of dialogue explaining something for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the first one does it good.
Yeah, what was that, Frank?
Yeah. Well, that's par for the course. Nothing ever gets explained.
Yep. And so much for Frank. So much for the new Star Wars film being nicknamed The Last Disappointment, huh?
we were close.
It should be called The Rise of the Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah, since Palpatine might be back. Well, apparently it's supposed to be a recording, but still.
The rise of the agenda.
There you go. That's my segue to the episode 9 trailer.
Yeah.
Yep. So what did you think? Lape, you want to go first on that one?
No, I'll go last. You guys go first.
Okay, let me go first. One, I don't know if y'all remember, was it that Tomb Raider game that came out? Not the newest one, but the one before it, the whole rebooted one. When that one first came out, I remember everyone was making a big deal. It's like, why is she breathing so hard like something's bad? And then, like, that's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw the beginning of the new Star Wars trailer. She's all... And but you know what else? I was thinking of, what's his name? Miles or whatever, that guy from Terminator 2. Remember how he died?
Yeah.
This is someone needs to edit that.
Miles Dyson.
Yep. And then and then like when I'm watching it, she turns around. I'm like, "What are you turning around for?" And then the damn jump with the TIE fighter,
That was
and I
so
was like,
stupid.
"Yeah, this looks dumb. This looks
As
so
Jeff
freaking
pointed
dumb."
out, as Jeff pointed out, those things aren't supposed to be able to move within an atmosphere, so that was pointless and wrong.
Yeah, so they fucked that up.
Like everything else.
It's like, hey, don't you guys know how these things work?
See, I didn't know
Clearly
that.
not.
What, the TIE fighter? I mean, they go in the atmosphere in The Force Awakens.
Which they shouldn't have been able to do.
Oh.
Yeah, because you really don't see them like what is it in the prequel? I mean the original trilogy. Because they're supposed to be because the point of the TIE fighter kind of too is it's just a simple, cheap little vehicle. It's not supposed to be the greatest thing ever. It only needs to do what it needs to do, and that's to fight in space. A simple dogfighting vehicle.
Yeah, they don't have thrusters that could maneuver against gravity. They're just like the TIE stands for twin ion engine. It's only made for moving in space.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But hey, they don't know shit about the universe that they own. What a surprise, right?
Yeah, they got fucking bombers that drop bombs in zero gravity.
Yeah. Well,
don't mention the bombers, please. Don't mention them.
Gravity, schmavity.
But they were near a planet.
I don't care if they were near the sun.
They should have been on the sun.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was the Rebels panel. I think it was Rebels or no, Clone Wars. Kathleen Kennedy introduced the two guys that were on it, and she left, which was a good thing. It was like, yeah, you don't know crap about this franchise at all, so let a couple guys talk about it who actually know about it. And I think that was the panel that most people got excited about. The
Clone Wars one.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that a little bit. They have some guy clone that looks like Rambo, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen any of the Clone Wars, so but that's the one people seem to be, the buzz about.
Yeah, hopefully it's good, but
so
I'm not holding my breath.
Seth, have you seen the trailer?
Oh yeah, from the get, it was just like, this is stupid, this is dumb, that's dumb, this is stupid. I don't like this. This isn't fun.
Right. Well, I can understand that. Mr. Frank?
Well, I only saw the trailer in a miniature form when I was watching that super cringy guy reacting to it.
Oh, God.
Because I wasn't going to watch it otherwise. And this massive Spurglord with a giant mole on his face crying over the damn thing. I'm just shaking my head like, God damn it.
Yep. Like, these people exist, these fans exist for this because they love this shit so damn much.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you think.
Yeah, there's King of the Spectrum.
Right. The King of
the Spectrum.
Yeah, I'm going to try and answer some questions. So, Grim Falcon, I did not personally see either one. Kathleen wasn't there for much of it. Those main panels on Friday was where a lot of this stuff happened, and we didn't have press passes. Jeremy or Jessi got him into one of the panels, but we didn't get there in time, and we had to deal with some traffic. There was also, I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday. There was some apparently some 18-wheeler, some truck drivers were protesting. So they were driving down the interstate at like ridiculous speeds, slowly, like 30, 40 miles an hour. And that really screwed up traffic. And then trying to find a place to park on Friday was an absolute pain. That's the thing, that there was this lot right next door and you had to download an app. The main parking lot at the place was basically closed off. It said lot full, but I think that was bull crap. I don't think they were letting anybody park there. And unlike here in Cincinnati, where there's a bazillion parking lots, and when there's an event going on, there's people out in the street trying to flag you into them. There's nothing in the least of the part of Chicago we work, because I think the parking is supposed to be at the facility. And so we end up, Nick and I parked on a lot that was, I don't know, almost a mile away. It was right on the lake though. So, it was nice in that way, in that regard, but it was a long walk. But I didn't personally see any of them. I know some people got some footage of them that had press passes. So I missed the trailer when it was on, because in the building we mainly stayed in, they had a screen showing what was going on in the main event, and then they had a small stage there of which they had some stuff. And so I saw it on someone's phone, and the second Ray did that backflip, I was done. I mean, because here's basically, we have Ray panting. I was like, okay, so we're mirroring the first one, where we have, there's been awakening. Have you felt it? And Finn pops up panting. And so I'm like, okay, we got the same thing. It's Jar Jar. He's going to copy himself, and then Ray pushes the wrong button to turn the lightsaber on again, and then she starts running just like she did in Last Jedi. And I'm like, where's her force speed? Maybe that is supposed to be super speed. I don't know. And then she does the backflip, and that was done. I don't care what happened after that. I was done, and it was just pretty much. And there was not, despite what you may have seen on feeds and stuff, the buzz about the trailer was not that great. And they did replay it later, and nobody, because I was going by the big screen, they were like a handful of sycophants that were looking at it, and everybody else just kept walking. So, I would say the general reaction was kind of meh. Like, to me, what it feels like, and granted, this is my feeling, but it feels like the majority of at least the people at the celebration are very cautiously, slightly optimistic, because they're like, look, Jar Jar fooled us once. He gave us a lot of questions. We defended the movie saying it'll be in the next one. And then they let Rian Johnson do what he did, right? That was an approved script. Kathleen Kennedy was singing the praises of that movie, thinking it was the most brilliant and, wonderful movie. I forget what her exact words were, but part of it was because it was so, deep and meaning and things like that. And now we're playing, you're playing in my heartstrings again. You've got Lando, you've messed up Luke forever. You did away with Han. Carrie Fisher's dead. You didn't give us the grand reunion we wanted with all 4 characters, 5 including Chewie. We're just gonna wait. We're not gonna hold our breath. We're gonna wait. If it's good, we'll clap and applaud, and if it's not, we're done. And I think they're really teetering on that precipice. And a slight breeze. It's kind of like the end of the original Italian Job, right? Did they survive, or did they fall to their death?
They all died.
Right. This is one of these things. If it's a good movie, the fans will survive. Star Wars will continue. It'll be wounded, and it'll be a diminished brand. It's not going to be anything like it used to be.
I'm pretty sure they survived, though, because, he was in Batman.
But that's where I am with, I'm kind of like, look, The Force Awakens, I didn't like it. I was in complete and total shock after that movie. Watch my video from back then if you don't believe me. I very grudgingly gave it a 7 out of 10, which I was just like, so my problem was I knew I didn't like it, but I didn't know why.
Some people think it came a little later for some. I think the initial shock wasn't wearing, because even me, like, I didn't really realize it at first, but then until my brother bought it on DVD, and they put it on, and like I'm watching it, and as soon as after they capture Poe, I skipped the movie all the way to the part where the X-wings come on to save the guys because they attacked Maz Kanata's place. Right. And then I skipped again and all the way to the end battle. I'm like, holy shit. I just skipped through this whole fucking movie. What happened? And that's when I realized how much I hated it, because it's like I didn't even really watch that much of it.
Yeah, that's why I was able to watch it a couple times, because like Lape said, I don't like this, but I can't really say why. Like, it takes time for that level of revulsion to articulate itself in your mind.
Right. And well, part of it was finding, because, and I'm going to get to some other chats. I see Raiders of the Lost Flicks is here too.
Welcome.
I mean, obviously I've told my story a zillion times, and that was one of the things when I was driving Anna and Jessi back. We kept talking to Jessi because she was about to pass out and she had the GPS coordinate, you know, where we were going. And I kept having to say, Jessi, what's my next turn? 5 miles. You know. But Anna wanted to know, you know, how in the world I got involved with world-class bullshitters and all that other stuff. So I, you know, at first, thinking I had a short trip, and I gave her the shorter version. Then I was like, hey, Jessi, how much further? And she's like, 40 minutes. I'm like, oh, crap. You know, so, you know, when I uploaded that, as I've said a zillion times, I hadn't seen anything bad. And then, you know, that's what led me, you know, granted, it kind of got snowballed in my brain for a while, but that's, you know, what's why I'm here now. And it's amazing how many people, again, hey, it's the first movie of a trilogy. Okay. Granted that, fully expected at least some things answered in the second with maybe more questions or other leads. And then we got that absolute debacle that, you know, I'm going to lay it right at Kathleen Kennedy's feet. She's the one with script approval. She's the one that can tell, you know, hey, we need a better direction. But that's why to me, what it feels like, that's why I say it feels like that people are very, they're slightly optimistic, but very cautious because they're not going to be fooled a second time.
Mm-hmm.
And Raiders of the Lost Flicks, I did send you a message back. I haven't looked at my Gmail for this channel in about a couple hours. So, but we're definitely going to have you on. We're going to figure out something. And I'd actually like to be on your channel for some things too. Now that 450 views, 16 downvotes, 6 thumbs up what is that? Is that your review of the trailer? I'm not sure what the context of that is. But yeah, but what there wasn't was the trailer went out and people were just going, you know, gonzo, and you know, we're watching it constantly everywhere. You know, that's the kind of reaction I would have expected. People would have been watching on their phones a zillion times. Hey, you know, look, hey, did you see it? Did you see it? And there was none of that at all. And
the honeymoon is over.
Right. And it's like I said, I think there's a lot of excitement for the Clone Wars, and there's hopeful optimism for the Mandalorian.
I have not watched that trailer yet.
Yeah, everything else is pretty much meh. We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
So
at some point, you got to wonder when the stockholders are just going to pull the plug on all this nonsense.
I didn't even know there was a trailer out for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I saw, like, I think when I tried to look for it, it showed like was it like a video, someone recorded it in the panel, and I'm like, I don't want to watch it, maybe. And then like I finally saw it a couple of days later, so it's finally out, and I was gonna click, and I'm like, I really don't care, so I didn't watch
pretty
it.
Much.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like it's at the really, I'm with those that faction of people that say Star Wars is dead. Who really cares what they come out with now? I'll just stick to the OT and the prequels, mostly the OT.
Yeah, I broke my own rule and forced myself to watch Last Jedi, and I still regret that.
You should.
I just wasted 2 hours of my life on utter bullshit.
I mean, it'll all be on a streaming service that nobody's gonna get.
Yeah, they're gonna lose so much money on that deal.
I mean, like seriously, like most of those movies I have like on VHS, like the ones I actually watch. I'm sure there's plenty of other ones I could find online. Like there's a site I go to. I used to watch it for like anime just to find some stuff. But then like I sort of went through it, and I'm like, there's all kinds of Disney movies and all stuff you can find on there. I was like, man, there's a bunch of stuff. I'll just stick with this, and it's free. And then like other stuff I got on VHS and DVD, or some of it my brother will buy. I know he'll buy. I don't have to worry about a streaming service. I hope this kills them because they fucked up because then their hubris or whatever you call it. They thought they were too big to fail.
Yeah. Well, Frank, in answer to your part, is Lucasfilm, are they still a separately publicly traded company? You know, I think Disney is the main stock, and as long as that's profitable, I mean, they lost what, $200 million last year in Star Wars, something like that overall, according to their numbers. But their park, you know, blew it out of the water, and so they're very profitable.
Yeah, but they're losing money. Every film is making less than the one before. We are clearly in the downward spiral here, and we all know the stockholders only care about the money, and they're watching the profits dwindle. And at some point, they're going to call in Michael Eisner, say,
like, what the hell's going on, man?
yeah, we've given you enough rope. You're at the end of it now. It's time to, shit or get off the pot.
Yep.
Yeah, they lost $1 billion, David Applegate. So.
I would told me straight up. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just keep.
Because don't they have like some kind of meeting, like a stockholder? I mean, stockholder. Yeah, stockholders meeting and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it also depends on who controls whoever's controlling 50.1% of the stock is going to have the biggest say, and because that's the majority. So if that's an Eisner and several of cronies, then nothing's going to change. But now you have Star Wars Land and other things that are starting to roll out. If that becomes, again, it's going to play the nostalgia. I can guarantee it. No one gives a crap. Well, a minority of people care about the new characters because they're so poorly written. We'll see what happens with that. If that starts to sink in, Disney they've been raising their prices on those parks for years. It's insane what it costs. Heck, it was insane
I won't go.
5 years ago.
What'd you say?
I'm not gonna go. I won't go.
Yeah, just don't give them your money. That's all I say. It's not really even a boycott, like even like what Jeremy would say. It's not, just don't give them your money. Vote with your wallet.
Yep. Go somewhere else with your money and spend it however you want. That's great.
Yep.
It sucks though because it's tied in with the MCU, and I love the MCU. Well, up until Captain Gender Studies, but that's a different story. But I want to support that, but at the same time, like it kills me because it's Disney property.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Hey Kendo, if you're still around in the chat, let them know what you thought of Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the MCU. Everything filters down from Disney. It's like up to a point, I was going out of my way to make sure I had every movie in my collection, but I think it was when Ragnarok dropped that I pretty much stopped. I got a copy of Homecoming because it was pretty cheap, and I just have it. I don't really watch it that much at all. But I'm not going to get Ragnarok. I'm not going to get Black Panther. I'm sure as hell not going to get Captain Marvel. I still haven't watched that pirated copy I downloaded.
I really liked Thor Ragnarok.
I liked parts of it. Like, I liked it, but it was kind of like, I want to say, I forgot who said it on the main show when they reviewed it. Like, you saw it, you liked it, but then, like, you didn't really care to watch it again. That was just me. That's just more of my opinion. I'm not going to down anyone who likes it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it did feel kind of cheap, like it was trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Because it was like a lot of funny, like Thor didn't really like joke, wasn't supposed to joke a whole lot, but it was like every 2 minutes he was like cracking a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I disliked it immediately. It's like, when did he start acting like Tony Stark all the time? Like, he never stopped goofing around.
Yeah, it's like they all want to be. I forgot someone said that too. Like, he's trying to be like Tony. They're trying to make all the characters like Tony Stark with the jokes. Like, because he's the one who cracks the jokes and is kind of like the one that makes the. And then like everyone has to do it now. Like, they want to have everybody do it. And like, I remember the only part I liked was not like, but like that I enjoyed a lot and was like kind of waiting to see was Carl Urban when he was shooting those two M16s. But then when I looked at it again, I'm like, I said, man, this doesn't even look right. Even these doesn't look right. Like, do they know how these M16s work? Because I do. Because that's not how they really work. I mean, I get the whole ammo thing. I'm not really bugging about that because, it's a movie. So, but and then when you look at there wasn't, I don't think there was anything ejecting out of the sides of the ejection port. And I was just like, after a while, I just didn't care anymore. So that's why I really fell out of Ragnarok. Like, I think my brother bought it, I want to say, and then I saw it on Netflix, and then like I just like don't care to ever watch it ever again.
Yeah. Like, I might get Antman and the Wasp because I did kind of like that one, even though the ending fell apart.
Dude, I love that movie. I watched it earlier today.
I've only seen it one time. I have not like tried to watch. It was fine, but I just didn't try to watch it again. I got
Yeah,
what was going on.
Yeah, I think it was Lape who said the thing doesn't really have an ending. Like they just
what Ant-Man? I haven't seen either Ant-Man
and the
film,
Wasp.
so
Yeah,
so it wasn't me.
Somebody said it because like the villain, the ghost woman, the ghost, she's trying to kill them all. She wants
That thing.
Janet. Yeah, they want to harness Janet's energy coming through so she can fix herself. She doesn't succeed at that. Then Janet just comes out and friggin' gives her the old Jesus touch and cures her, and then the movie's just over.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think they did it a little bit better with her, the mom coming back. I think they did a little bit better in Aquaman. Because, you know, you thought the mom was dead. That. Yeah, that one was good. I mean, that was a fun one. I put it on just to put it on, I want to say a week ago, and my grandma happened to come in, and she loved the shit out of it. Like, her whole thing was, I want to know if the mom's alive. I want to know. So I made her think the mom was dead, though. It was hilarious. And then until she finally showed up again, and I'm like, oh, she's alive, huh? Who would have known? And she's looking at me all mean as hell, like she's ready to slap the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Just for tricking her.
I tell you what, DC is making the upswing. With Aquaman was good, Wonder Woman was good. Now Shazam was amazing.
I gotta see Shazam. I still haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
I missed it because I forgot what I was doing. Well, I know we did the show. No, actually, when it came out, that's when we did the Kung Fu Hustle recording.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I can't miss that.
Nobody has watched, by the way.
Of course. Who's watched anything we do?
It was I had like 14 views last time I checked, but it was a pretty busy weekend, so it's understandable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, because I thought it came out the week before, I messed up, and I thought it came out the week before, but then my brother's like, no, it's coming out this weekend. I'm like, shit, I could have watched it, but I missed it. I'll wait till he buys it on DVD. I know him. He'll buy most of the movies I miss. If I miss them in theaters, I just wait for my brother to buy them because I know he's gonna buy them. So I save a lot of money. I've saved a lot of money.
There you go.
Yep. And that was that. So we're gonna talk about Bree and versus Thor, real quick.
Do we have to?
No, we don't have to.
I loved it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing. I actually have a link to the whole interview. Tomorrow I'm going to work on a video because this is what I believe is driving the views of my video from 6 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So if you right now type into at least, well, I shouldn't say right now, at least the last time I checked, if you type in Elizabeth Olsen unhappy, that video is number 1. If you type in Marvel cast unhappy or MCU cast unhappy, mine's number 3. So I'm behind the quartering is number 1. I forget who number 2 is. I mean, number 1 video's got like 500,000 views or something like that, crazy like that.
That's pretty good.
It's so right now I'm standing at 210,000 views or 200. Yeah, I think it's slowed down finally. But yeah, it's crazy. I've seen 2 different takes on it. Some people have been really, complaining, and some of it's like, it feels like Chris Hemsworth tried to kind of joke, and she took it as not
offensive.
Yeah, kind of like
she takes offense to everything.
Yeah, if you've seen her video about the YouTube search or Google searches for her, one of them.
That was painful.
Yeah, it's something like
I saw Macarana's video on that.
Yeah, and she's like, "Is that
is that personal attack?" And I'm like,
"No, only if your brain doesn't work."
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who was pointing out how, like, what if she's just trying to do that whole "I'm an asshole" sort of gimmick to get it, to get like people's attention. Like, this is what's gonna make popular by being a bitch to everyone, but like it's not working because you can't do it right. You suck at it, yeah. Like she's just she seems like a very unlikable person, like that kind of person you're just not comfortable being around. You just want to like, can I go now?
Yeah, I think what were the guys calling her Brillo Larson and Dion. Yeah, Brillo Pad Larson. Yeah. Dion didn't get it, but I totally did because she's flat and abrasive.
Yeah.
I would honestly bet that like her staff and the people that works with her on this movie sets have fed her so much crap that, oh my gosh, you're so great, you're such this, you're such that, and that she honestly believes that she is, and she believes her character is so much better than everybody else's.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want to see what this whole, because isn't like Kevin Feige the one who's been pushing her, like to make sure she's the face or whatever?
Yes. Yep. He's been freaking singing her praises.
I wonder if he gets down on that Brillo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so when we were talking about, I guess it was yesterday or the day before. I can't remember if it was the day we got back or the next day, because I was talking about how my video, because I think it was yesterday. But anyway, my son and I were talking about it with my wife, and she's like, "Oh, so I showed a picture of her, and I said, now I'm going to show you a picture of Kevin Feige." And I said, "Okay, now here's Kevin Feige in the last year or so." I said, here's the background. She gets cast as Captain Marvel. That gets announced. He always has this silly grin on his face. She breaks up, what was like, I don't remember how long ago it was. She broke up with her fiance of like 5 or 6 years. And I showed him a picture of Kevin Feige and that smile at his, and her first reaction is exactly that. Exactly what you were saying, Tapadai, that's what's going on, and that's why he's got that stupid smile on his face.
Because they banging.
So,
they bumping ugly.
Control of that. I
wouldn't doubt it. Hollywood's full of perverts and
yeah. He's probably like, "Hey, baby, I can make you famous. You want to be in a Marvel film? I'll make you famous."
Yeah, it would be the first time a woman fucked her way to the top.
He wants to be the new Harvey Weinstein. That's why.
Yeah, I don't think it's that far, but it is just amazing. I mean, I was like, her very first reaction was that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought about that grin he has now that you mentioned it. Yeah. Like, he's like, I always just thought he was just him being awkward. I think he's just being awkward too. He's like, "Ooh, I got these cameras shoved in my face. I don't know what to do."
That might be part of it.
Yep, that's probably it.
So this video that people are making great fun at me mispronouncing Hawkman and Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. I did it again, and Martin Downey Jr. But I'm laughing all the way to 1,200 subscribers now.
Right.
It is definitely slowed down a lot since yesterday afternoon. Was just insane. It was just crazy. And the back end metrics are not as far ahead as the front end, so that's how I know it's catching up. But over 10,000 views. The official count right now is 217,100 and some odd views. 109 new subscribers from this video in the last 2 days. So, but it is crazy. I mean, I look at the views. When I look and see if it will change the view count. Tuesday had 40. So on Tuesday, I had 4,300 views total on this video. Well, I think this is ahead. This was actually been our Monday. For some reason, it's I think it's like Zulu time or something. Because it's showing. It's updated the 20th of April, 4 a.m. So that is last hour. So it'd been 8. That's 6 hours. No, that's 8 hours ahead. I don't know what friggin' time zone it's on. Somewhere in Russia.
In Soviet Russia.
Because Eastern Europe might be an hour ahead of Western Europe. I don't know. I know they're an hour ahead of the UK, and UK is 5 hours ahead of me. So I have no idea what time it is. But this is just nuts. I've been posting some images of the back end, but for me, this has been great. I'm going to work on a video. I'm going to look at that stuff. I'm going to do my own little take. Maybe I'll kind of critique things. And I even pinned for 2 days, but the top comment I had pinned is, "Yes, I know I get names wrong, but I do correct." And people were still going, "Oh, you said Martin Downey Jr. You said Hawkeye. Don't you know anything at all?"
Mm-hmm.
So, but
the average just shows they don't read the comments. Then they just weren't reading the comments.
The average watch time, however, has increased. It was at 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes. Now it's almost 3.5 minutes. So that is good. So people are, and it's 11-minute video, which is, but that's the nature of YouTube. And a lot of people have noticed that they do these 10, 15-minute videos and people watch for 3-4 minutes and then they leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I have tagged some of our stuff. I'm trying to get it to, I would love to repeat it in a few months, but I'm hoping that the subscribers that I picked up stick around and enjoy other content that I've got going in the works. So that's my take on it. I think that Chris was a little serious and a little joking, and Bree took it completely as a personal affront. But and obviously I was dealing with rumors 6 weeks ago when it was an article. But I'm beginning to believe that Elizabeth and Scarlett Johansson both are in this really pissed off category, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have done their due diligence. Now, granted, a movie before Endgame probably doesn't make sense, but if they survive, and it's starting to feel like most of them do, something pre-Endgame should have been in there. A little bit more background on Scarlet Witch. Or a side adventure with her. You can, and that's the thing. Elizabeth Olsen's going to be in some, her and Vision are going to be in something on Disney Plus. Now, exact time frame of when it is, is it filler of their, adventures between movies, or is it post Endgame? I don't know. But Scarlett's been there since what, Iron Man 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was the third MCU movie, right? Because it wasn't Iron Man 1, then Thor, and then
Captain America.
No, it was Iron Man 1, Incredible Hulk, then Iron Man 2, then Thor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Incredible Hulk, the one that's very, very, very forgettable.
Right, like anyone remembers that one.
Yeah, they recast. They did better with it. Because I always wondered if those really counted, but since was it Bruce Banner? Yeah, it's Bruce Banner, not David Banner. Like the David Banner was a TV show in the 70s, I think.
Yeah, David Bruce Banner.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, this is incredible. This is over 200 times my current subscriber account. So this is like Jeff or this is like WCBS or Geeks and Gamers would be more. It'd be like a 24 million view video if you look at their subscriber account. So, but it has bled over into other videos. I have there was a supplement video that's had 5,000 new views in the last 3 days.
And hopefully they take your advice. You take your review serious. And they consider buying these products.
Yeah, that would be nice. It would be, especially if it's something I said was good. If I said it was crap, then buyer beware.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, anybody got anything else we want to cover before we wrap this maybe up?
Yes.
No, I don't.
I do. I have gone back and revisited episode 10 again, and I copied out the roster for the Monster Rumble we were talking about. So I'd like for us to, at some point in the near future, maybe get Loudy on board to be our special guest announcer. And if Kendo still has any of his old notes and ideas about that, to send them along, we will finally do the Monster Rumble.
Cool.
Which should be entertaining.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm glad we're going to do something finally. Because, we didn't do that thing again where it's like, we're going to do, what was it, where we recommend something at the end of the show? I think we did do it. We did it one time. We didn't do it
one
again.
time. Yeah. Yep.
Like, we need to just sort of stick to stuff we're going to come up with,
Yeah. Too many ideas floating around. Nothing's really sticking.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're going to do that. Make good on at least one thing. And we want to make our announcement now or put it out till next week?
Yeah, we can do it now. Ain't going to hurt.
Let's go ahead and give kind of a sneak of what we're...
All right. We are in talks to rebrand the show. We are going to change the name. We're going to hopefully not change up, but add to our roster.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have some new segments. We're going to have some more features. Probably going to have more games or something. We're still throwing a lot of ideas around, but there are some changes coming to the show. We might even be moving to a whole new channel if we can't just change the name to this one.
Oh, we can change the name. You can change the name once every 90 days.
Oh, well, that's good. So, yeah.
URL won't change, but the name can.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, we've been talking about this for a while because we've kind of hit a ceiling as far as our subscriber count goes, and not to criticize the main show, but we don't really get mentioned over there anymore. So
Yeah.
you know,
So I
it's
figure we
time
just
to
try to go off on our own.
yeah, it's time to kick off the training wheels and wade out into the deeper water, so to speak.
Yeah. Put
Heck
up or
yeah.
shut up.
Yep.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's so much has been, you look at the last year, it's just been really crazy in many ways. Things that have been gone on in pop culture and entertainment. The WCBS were they at like 40K a year ago, 30K, and then they took a bit of a pause and then exploded. There's been a lot of stuff going on. Other channels are growing a little bit better. I don't know how much some of the stuff we do or don't do affects us, but that's part of what we're going to explore and talk about and come up with various ideas. So, But yeah, we just want to kind of lay it out there. We're going to rebrand. This is something that I actually talked a little bit with Jeff and Nick about while we were traveling. We don't have any specifics yet. But we do have some ideas of what we want to do, and we're going to see what's up.
Yep. Wish us all luck, because I'm praying. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
But hopefully LMP's okay back in Mexico. I know he's missing AOC, his ex.
Speaking of LMP, make sure that he gets a time limit on his rants on the upcoming news shows.
Yes, that has been mentioned by multiple people. I got to find a way to mute him from time to time.
We need to have like a horn that goes off, like a foghorn or something.
Yeah. The LMP alarm.
Yep. But we'll figure it out.
Get the old red alert for sound from Star Trek.
You have 2 minutes.
And your time is up.
You now have no minute. You are crazy.
No. We should do. We should gong show him.
or you know what? Or we could do like a beer fest and like he's basically shot off camera and he's silenced. like basically because you can mute people, right? Like
I don't know.
I think
I was trying to figure out how to do that today. I couldn't figure out how to mute.
Well, if we can, we just basically, as if he runs out of time, you mute him and then you do a gunshot sound, and that's like, well, LMP's gone.
Yeah, gunshot and a thud.
Yep. Yeah, that's all you hear.
Womp,
Pow, thud, thud.
He's gonna be so happy about this.
I'm liking the gong. Well, yeah.
Yeah, gong too. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Or we just switch it up. Try to switch it up, like surprise him. He doesn't know what's coming.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so we have one other order of business. At least it's in this old format. We're still doing the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame.
Is that going to go away?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It'll go away if we determine that it's actually hampering our growth.
Yeah.
So, because it is a bit of a gimmick with the show, and I don't know, but Marlene, I guess it's Marlena. This is some hot Mexican chick, speaking of Mexico. Marlene Favela, I guess, is how you say her name, or Marlene Favela. But I'll find some other appropriate or inappropriate images and put her in the thumbnail, as it were. I'm trying to find a transparent because I've got some good poses, however, but there's too much other background crap to get rid of. But we'll see. So is that it? Is that it?
Yeah.
So congratulations. How do you say your name? Do what?
Congratulations to Seth.
Congratulations, Seth, on your child. I hope you got all your sleep in before the birth. You're going to be low on it for a while, unless you're very, very lucky. And is it a boy or girl?
A girl.
Girl. If she sleeps through the night, our daughter slept through the night relatively easily. Just had to get up for feedings, but our son was a nightmare. So
far, the Caste's been just she'll sleep and then eat.
Right.
Wow.
So our child got a lot of turkey, so I'll leave it at that. So let's go out in reverse order, Seth. So close us out, give it your goodbye for the fans, and we'll work our way back to Frank.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for having me. It's been a blast, like always. I will see you guys next time.
All right. Maybe next time, Tab and I will let you talk a little more.
What? What do you mean? I will. I didn't do shit.
More like
Screw
Lane.
you. All y'all die, go to hell. I'm on my way.
All right, Tab and I. You got any other words you want to tell us before you?
Yes, I do. Texas is its own country, so I'm the ambassador for WCBS for Texas.
Yeah. And Raiders, we'll definitely circle back over with and somebody was on the chat last night. Was it Basil? Somebody was about trying to get me on Doomcock's show, and we'll figure that out too. But yeah, do it, email, and then we'll figure out something and have you on at some point. I actually want, one of the things I want to kind of propose, and we'll talk about this off air, is some kind of maybe guest spot, maybe every week a different guest or something, or maybe every other week or something like that. A little more often than we do, but not every week. At least not the same person every week. So, and I have been your host of Channel Dad Bryon Lape, also known as Brain Muffin. And last but not least, this has been episode 78. Mr. Reality's Frank, close us all out for the evening.
Next summer, Rob Schneider is a homicidal maniac with a heart of gold. But all that changed when one day he woke up as a talking baby. Walt Disney Pictures presents Feminist Baby Goes to the Zoo, rated R.
Every week, it's always rated R, and it's always Disney. Oh, and there goes the dog. So that's definitely my cue that they got to go out soon. All right, we'll see you all next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Give us your fucking money.
At least for now. Bye.